the odds nowadays, you know, trying for the best. All right, it's 9:30, Monday morning, August the 8th. We'll bring the regular session of Commissioners Court, Seminole County Commissioners Court to order. Let the record show Larry Halsey, Don Curtis, Danny Chambers, Kenneth Wood, and Don Grant are all present. Will you please join us in the pledges?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Lead us in prayer, please.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day you give us. Father, we pray that you'll help us make these hard decisions the county don't have to make. We pray your will be done. Father, we also pray that John's wife will have a peace and a recovery. In Jesus' wonderful name.
All right, item number 3, approved minutes of the previous Commissioners Court.
I'm showing 4. 2 on the 11th, 1 on the 18th, 20th, and 27th, that's right.
2 on the 11th, 1 on the 18th, 1 on the 20th, and 1 on the 27th.
I don't. I don't have the 27th. Did I see that was?
This one, next month's going to have a meeting also.
I'm good with it. That was the Monday, the 27th, that I was I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from July the 11th to July the 11th, July the 18th, July the 20th, July the 22nd, and July the 27th.
I have a motion by John. Second. I have a second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 4.
Okay.
Presentation of Somerville County Food Bank.
Gentlemen, we have a presentation for you guys to make to the food bank, so I'd like for y'all to come down in front. We give the food bank a portion of the sponsorship fees for our Inferno tournament. It's important to note this isn't taxpayer funds that are being given away, but funds that were raised in connection with the tournament. We have a representative from the food bank to receive it. And the gift this year is $4,000. Wow.
That's good.
Wow.
That is good.
If we can get everybody in a little bit more, Duff, you're out of the picture. There you
Perfect.
go. All right. Everybody say cheese.
Jesus.
And let's get one more just to be on the safe side. Very. I think it took it. Not my phone, but I think it took it. Okay, very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys.
Love
We
y'all.
can do what we do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, item number 5, discuss take action on issuing burn ban for the county. Mr. Griffin.
I think this one seems pretty easy to do. I'm going to switch real quick. This is what we currently look like. Today, we're at 655 on our KDDI, and of course, y'all know 575 is extreme danger, so we've exceeded the extreme danger And I just received notification on my phone from Texas Forest Service about possibilities of crown fires are beginning to grow, and wildfires are also beginning to spread throughout Texas. This is a 14-day outlook on the top. You'll see within the next 14 days we'll be over the 700 mark. And then the picture in the bottom is the current burn bans are depicted by the red counties. There's not many around us at this time, but Hood County is under a burn ban. So at this time, I request the commissioners to implement a burn ban due to extreme drought conditions.
I make a motion that Somerville County institute a burn ban, where the judge can't sign that.
I have a motion by John. I have a second by Larry.
Immediately. And it'll be implemented for 90 days unless conditions improve. I know we're supposed to have a cold front come through this weekend, but unless we get a significant rainfall of 4 or 5 inches, I don't foresee it helping our conditions much.
I have a motion by John, a second by Larry. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. Thank you, Dwayne.
Thank you.
Christie, would you like to come up to the microphone? Item number 6, discuss, take action, approve order of election and presiding and alternate election judges for the November 8, 2016 general election.
Yes, sir. The order states the election is hereby ordered to be held on November 8, 2016 in Somerville County, Texas, for the purpose of electing the following county and precinct officers as required by Article 16, Section 65 of the Texas Constitution. And down below, you'll see the list of the counties that will be on the ballot. The early voting hours are scheduled to be between 8 to 5, beginning the 24th and ending on November 4th. Are there any questions on this?
Problems at all? All right.
Okay, and the second item I have is for the order of appointment for election judges and alternates. There are 2 different ones presented. One is for the Republican Party and the other one is for the Democrat Party. There's 1 judge and 1 precinct, 1 alternate judge listed for each precinct for each party. And the terms are going to begin September 1st, 2016 and ending on August 31st, 2017.
Questions at all?
Have none.
Do I have a motion to move forward? Accept these. I have a motion by Larry to accept the appointments for election judges and alternates. Second. I have a second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion for Christie? All in favor of said motion? It's 5 for, 0 against. Thank you, Christie.
Thank you.
There's 2 pages, guys, whenever you'll sign in. You'll sign them, we'll send them back this way, and Larry and John can sign them, we'll get them back to Christie. John will sign both of them. There's 2 sheets there. Christie. What you need? John, must you miss that sign? Yeah. What's the name of it? this is what whenever you're ready. There should be a little more size.
Thank you.
You bet, thank you. All right, item number 7, discuss take action on optional county fees for 2017. Darlene, they're not changing, are they? No
Not
change?
unless you want to go down.
Okay. County would charge the same fees in 2017 as they did in 2016. That's what I have. This is action.
I make most of the county charge the same fees, tax assessment office, as they did in 2016.
I have a motion by Kenneth.
Second.
I have a second by John. Any questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? It's 5 for, 0 against. I'll let Don catch up down there. We sent a lot of stuff down there at one time.
I don't know how y'all sign stuff so fast.
We have our little stamp. Ollie, do you want to come to the microphone on the next one to talk, or do you want to just move forward with it?
Just move forward.
And if I say something that's wrong, then you tell me, okay? Or jump up and say, no, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Number 8, discuss, take action on revision to the HR job description. It's my understanding, if I'm correct, that she wants to do away with the IT part of her job description. She wants to leave that totally strictly to Doug, Eddie, and that group. And Paula wishes to be removed from the IT department. That's it. Go back to strictly HR in the job description, which we have spelled out. And it was attached to the, do y'all have any questions for all at all?
You seen negative impact of this change?
I've talked to everybody I could. I do not at this time. I hate to see her go, as her and I have been discussing this since April. And she still wants to move forward with it.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion by Larry.
Second.
I have a second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion or problems? All in favor of said motion? 5 for, 0 against. Item number 9, discuss, take action on contract between Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service and Central County to clarify the parties' responsibilities for information technology IT services beginning September 1st and ending August 31st. This is something that's been in, hey Alan, been in force for a while. It's every 2 years. We just didn't know it, I guess, because it hadn't been brought before the court in the past. Maybe y'all remember before 2014, but what they were doing the contract, and the AgriLife folks that was there before Zach was signing off on it, and then the state was signing off on it moving forward. So this is actually probably the first time y'all have seen this, I imagine. But it's pretty much spelling out, if you had a chance to go over it, that what we're already doing, we provide them a spot, we provide them with internet, we provide them with access to the closet if they have to have in that room, if they have to access it for any reason. Had you ever seen this before, Paula?
Never.
I hadn't either when it came up. So we started digging, and it had always been signed off by the AgriLife people. But Zach wanted to change it over with this direction, which is the right direction. And if there are any questions, I will try to answer.
And we have in the past, I think the only thing that came up is we split the cost of a computer with them or something. They had purchased the computer and then we paid 50% of it, and then it became our property. It was, and that's the only thing that really comes to mind, IT related with the extension office.
And reading through it, it looks very common, and just a matter of we'll provide them space, we'll provide them network, and we'll provide them the internet. Which is better now, I think, now that they've been working on the Wi-Fi than they had been.
Which, what you're saying, just renewal?
Yes, it's rolled for 2 years. I have a motion by Larry,
Second.
a second by John. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? It's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 10, discuss, take action on approval of advertising for RFPs for public events concessionaire. What this is, Brian, Andy, myself, we've all been going over the contract the way it is. We discussed, with you before. We're trying to simplify it. We're trying to take some things out of it, break it down where it may not be on percentages. It'd be like on a base fee. We haven't come up with all the details yet, which they're working to, that we will present back to us. But it would do away with the, correct me if I'm wrong here, with all the gross receipts, the calculation of the percentage of the receipts, all the bookkeeping that y'all do along with Mary. It would even do away with them having to have a separate bank account, right? Because they just pay a fat fee like what we're doing with Glory.
Correct.
So,
Correct, and because it's changing if you remember, we had the original term, and then last year we exercised the 1-year renewal. But because we're contemplating a material change in the terms of the contract, we can't simply do renewal. So we're seeking permission to go out for RFP for this contract.
And we just, what it boils down to is a flat monthly rate on that facility.
That's what we're proposing, yes, sir.
and it's my understanding that you two will probably work on it even more, try to advertise it Thursday.
We're going to try, yes, sir.
If not, we'll wrap up 2 weeks.
And then,
Because
of course, any proposals come back to this body for consideration and approval. But we just need the permission to go out for an RFP.
Is the reason, is it for the auditing? Why would we change it?
Well, we just did a 1-year renewal, so we were up at the end of our 1-year renewal anyway. So whether we wanted to just, obviously the options are simply to renew it as it is in the terms that are existing, or with this Expo Center redesign, we wanted to try to change things a little bit more, and this was an opportunity to do that.
would you like to say anything, Frank?
Well-
You got that look on your face.
Yeah, I mean, I understand Brian's reasoning for that, like we did the store. But with the current climate of what's going on, we all talked about raising it to 15%. I talked to Mary, and she's more than willing to do that. If we can't roll it over and raise it to 15, we can roll it over and keep it what it is, and she will additionally kick in the remaining percentages. That would be legal. And I'd be more comfortable just rolling it over if we could raise it to 15, straight across the board. So an additional 5% on catering, and I think 3% on the other two items.
But if we change any wording at all in it, we have to go out for RFPs if we change any wording. Sorry, go ahead.
If we renew, if all we're doing is raising the rate to 15%, then we probably could do that if that's the direction the board wants to go. What we had discussed was redoing the contract.
And what we did, Frank, so in fairness, and like I said, we hadn't come to the number,
Right.
we took last year's rates and what was paid in and based that monthly fee off last year's rates. So if it stayed as bad as it has been, and then the fees that you get paid from outside folks when they pay.
I don't get those fees, that goes to the expo.
Okay.
Everybody's
Yeah, that's
under the
it.
impression that I get that when caterers come in.
It goes.
That's the expo recouping what they lose if I don't cater. I get zero.
Okay, and that would stay the same too.
Yeah, nobody understands it.
So actually, and I'm not trying to speak for these two gentlemen, it's gonna be well within reason and probably better than 15%, what I'm trying to say. Just regular flat rate if they pay off the fee, just do a monthly fee, pay it straight out, and then just do away with the percentages altogether. Am I making any sense there at all, Frank?
Yeah, you are. I mean, you want to do the same concept that we went forward on the merchandise, I get that.
make it a little bit simpler and clean it up and go from there. But these guys haven't said they want to do that yet.
What would be the advantage?
You do?
Well, I mean, the options before you are obviously to either renew with the existing terms, renew with a higher term at 15%, or to go out for RFP. I mean, the only advantage, I mean, there's, either one has got advantages, but the advantage of an RFP would simply be if we went with a flat rate, then it's a budgeted amount. We don't even have to worry about what kind of activity's happening at the expo center. It's just, here's the rate, kind of like a rent payment type thing. So, I mean, I guess there's three options there in front of you as to which one you want to do.
Can I
You
bring
bet.
something? What about the months that there may not be hardly anything? Like December for the concessions is very bad.
Right.
So, say there's a big monthly rent there and there's nothing there coming in to cover that. I mean, that was always kind of the beauty of the percentage there, is that there's so many times there's stuff going on there that I'm not allowed to open.
Right.
But yet I'd still be paying rent when somebody else is in there, and other caterers coming in that I'm getting nothing out of.
Right.
And, it looks like there's a lot going on, and there is for the expo, but not so much the concessionaire.
Well, this is the numbers I took this off of, Mary. You tell me if this is roughly right or not.
I'm sure you're probably right, because I have nothing in front of
What you
me.
paid to the county last year was $10,814.97,
I honestly couldn't tell you right now, Danny. I'd have to go through and
based
look.
on 10, and that's what we based the number of the monthly rate off of.
Mhm.
Or I did, I won't stick you off to that. That covers good months along with bad months. So
Mhm.
yeah, you're right. Like in any business, as we all well know,
Right.
December, January, February. But you allow for that in the good months, right?
Yeah.
I see here where you had, I did go through this. And some months were very good, and you're right, some months were very bad.
Mhm.
Is it 10 or 12?
10,000.
Percent.
Currently,
12,
12.
except for catering.
Catering,
Is 10.
catering's at 10, so we could move everything to 15 across the board.
For 1 year.
right, the renewal options are 1 year at a time.
And we've exercised one of those, is that right, Mike?
The current year, we're in the 1 year.
Let's go 15.
All right.
Make a motion that we go for 15% on both areas for 1 year, and review that at the end of this 1 year period to determine whether or not we want to address it again for an RFP.
And I guess we'll modify the contract, and Mary and Frank will sign it. You probably have signed the concessionary. All right, and then that would start October 1st and run through just like your last one, September 30th. All right, I have a motion by John to go to 15 and 15, current contract. All right, looks like we're running an auction house here. 15%.
Yeah.
And I have a second by Kenneth. Do we have any further questions or discussion or problems? All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. All right. Item number 11, discuss take action on new rate schedule for Expo Center. Go ahead, Frank.
I believe you all have a copy of the current rate sheet with the recommended changes. Currently, we are raising, or what I'm proposing is $5 on stalls. Would be, the next item, I believe, would be an arena fee of $5 per entry, per horse, actually. And honestly, what I'm doing is I'm going across the board. I wouldn't implement these on everyone. Some I could implement some I could implement others. But I I got my shot here, I just want to get them all while I can, so I have the opportunity to do it. An arena fee will be per horse. Parking fee for certain events, we're going to go to $5 a car, gun shows, holiday festivals, vintage market, things like that. Truck and trailer, that would be on certain large events across the street in the county's lot. Be a $10 tie-off fee, really is what it is. Catering, of course, we already talked about that. Cleaning deposit, I would like to raise that $50.
To 250, or is that 200?
It's currently 150, I'd like to go to 200, yes, sir.
Okay.
Shavings, I'd like to go up $2, maybe even 10, and that would be it.
That property across the street not belonging to the county, is that an issue just regarding?
It's never been an issue. We maintain it, we keep it mowed.
I think the $10 would probably just about cover the pickup and mowing services that we perform on that lot.
Right.
For usage of it.
We just have to make contact with the owner and make sure that's okay.
Yes, sir.
Frank, with the ability to institute these changes, what impact downstream do you see?
Well, I don't see any. And the reason I say that is, as we were talking last month about raising rates, there are some customers that I can get away with it. For example, I met with the minis Thursday or Friday. They can absorb $5 on RVs and on stalls and $2 on shavings, but they can't absorb a $5 horse fee. So that particular group, I won't charge that arena fee. There are some groups that I will not be able to implement stalls. So in that situation, I'll use the arena fee. I can't outprice my customers. Each one is a different personality, and someone's got to I've got to handle them one at a time.
Well, I think that was the embedded question there, is if we approve this and we implement it, and you did not have the latitude to manage it,
Oh, yes, sir, I see what you're saying, yes,
so
absolutely.
we could do more harm than good by running people.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I work on personality, that's what I do.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve the Somerville County Expo Center rate schedule.
I have a motion by John, second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion for Frank?
I see you have one out, 8 minutes here.
I'm not quite sure.
He's looking at the scared.
Oh, yeah, we've got to move that stuff. I've got a meeting tomorrow on another 5. Yeah. I mean, we're right now at the point where there are some customers that I'm just gonna have to part with, because business is business, and they just don't pay us enough.
The intent is that these new rates would be effective immediately? Is that, I mean, I understand that you have some contractual obligation. I'm just checking with the commissioner that this is the new rate schedule, or that these changes are going to affect today, or?
There probably will be a few, Brian, that I could implement before the new fiscal, but it's not gonna be across the board. But yeah, anything I can pick up now before the end of this budget cycle, yes, sir.
So immediate.
I have a motion by John to make the rate schedule effective immediately. Second still good. A second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor of said motion? It's 5 for, 0 against. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Item number 12, discuss take action on resolution for renewal of bid for a crushed stone.
Yes, sir. We had awarded bids to Squaw Creek Materials and to Mills Crushed Stone. And with our last bid award, we also had the option to renew if both parties were in agreement and the price would not change. That is the case. Mills and Squaw Creek Materials both have indicated that they would like to renew, which saves us the money from going out and having to advertise a bid. So just seeking permission for the judge to sign the resolution to renew the bid for one more year with both those entities.
I make a motion that we approve the resolution for the judge to sign on crushed stone agreements.
I have a motion by John,
Second.
a second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion for Brian? All in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 13, approved county treasurer's report, which passed amongst us here earlier.
I'll make a motion to approve the county treasurer's report.
I have a motion by Kenneth,
Second.
I have a second by John. Any further questions or discussion for Susie? All in favor of said motion? 5 for, 0 against. Receive and approve monthly reports from all county departments. I have a motion by Larry,
Second.
I have a second by Kenneth. Any further questions or comments? All in favor of said motion? 5 for, 0 against. Approved budget transfers.
Yes, sir. These should have been emailed to you on Friday. Just some housekeeping items, really nothing really material, with the exception of prisoner medical continues to be our thorn in the side, so to speak. We actually had a prisoner that had to go to the Lake Granbury Hospital because, as you know, we have our men over there in Hood County, and he was suffering of a perceived heart attack, and so they did not want to take the time for a deputy to come here and bring him back here, so they took him to Lake Granbury. So that was an expensive, although we were able to negotiate a pretty reasonable settlement with them because we pay pretty quickly and we'll give them the runaround.
By the way, I couldn't read that on my iPad.
I couldn't either. It's like chasing a cat and don't want to be caught.
It come to us crooked.
New personnel, I saw that it came through like that. I apologize.
You can't turn it where you can read it.
What you gotta do is hold the iPad, sit, and then you've gotta lay sideways on your desk. Okay, it's how that works.
My hand don't read too well sideways.
I apologize. New personnel in my office, I'll make sure she's aware. I had her send it out because I was out of the office Friday attending a conference. Typically, it's for me, and I make sure it comes to the right orientation for you, but I apologize.
Real hard to read, Brian.
I'm so sorry.
Chasing the cat, it doesn't want to be caught.
Well, you can lay sideways on your desk. It does work that way, I will tell you. Not that I've tried it, but I will.
Here's a copy of them, Don, if you want to.
This is it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, this ain't on.
Oh, is it?
No, there's about 4 pages.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
You can have the copies. These are the ones I'll need back signed anyway, so we can all.
I guess that was better than all that. Sorry. Give you those.
You
And
probably do, there's probably.
then on my desk sideways long enough, did it? All right, folks.
You got one to sign?
Yeah, here they are.
Okay.
I have a motion by Larry to do the budget transfers.
Second.
I have a second by Kenneth. We'll let Don and review them a little bit longer.
And as you know, as we get closer to the end of the fiscal year, we're always having to juggle just to make sure that we meet the statutory requirement that we have money in the line item.
I have a motion by Larry and a second by Kenneth. All in favor of said motion? It's 5 for, 0 against. Item number 16, we approve the remainder of county bills.
You received the emails from me. In addition to that email, we have one being reimbursed through payroll, Shane Tipton, $17.38 for a meal.
I have a motion by Larry to pay our bills.
Second.
I have a second by Kenneth. Any further questions or discussion for Brian?
Brian, the monthly total appears to be between $500,000 and $600,000.
Net cash outflow, yes, sir. Kind of depends on what our income is from different sources.
Sorry about
Okay. But it's better than nil.
Oh, absolutely,
that. Much better than me.
Absolutely.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yes, sir.
All in favor of said motion, pay the rest of our bills. 5 for, 0 against. And after we adjourn this meeting, go for an off, we're gonna open another one and go over insurance. So do I have a motion to adjourn this particular meeting?
So moved. Second.
I do have a motion by Kenneth, a second by Larry. John, all in favor of said motion? That's 5 for, 0 against at 10:07.
I haven't seen that kind of excitement in months, man. Wow.